In the world of gambling, there are winners, losers, and then there is Louis Colavecchio, a man whose story is as intriguing as it is audacious. Born in the heart of Providence, Rhode Island in the mid-20th century, Colavecchio's Italian roots run as deep as the tales of his criminal exploits. Growing up, young Louis was no stranger to the gritty underbelly of the city. His early life was characterized by a series of petty thefts, scams, and small-time hustles. These may have seemed like trivial transgressions at the time, but they were just the beginning of a life steeped in crime. Louis Colavecchio was a man who learned early on that the world could be his oyster, if only he had the audacity to pry it open. The streets of Providence were a harsh teacher, but they instilled in him a cunning wit and a knack for bending the rules. It was these skills that would later serve him well, as he transitioned from small-time scams to grand schemes that would make headlines across the nation. But what set Louis apart from your run-of-the-mill hustler was more than just his audacity. It was his inventive spirit, a mind that saw opportunities where others saw only obstacles. He was a craftsman, a tinkerer, an artisan of illicit endeavors. His early ventures into the world of crime were merely a prelude to his magnum opus, a daring caper that would forever etch his name into the annals of casino history. Yet for all his early exploits, it wasn't the streets of Providence that would become Louis Colavecchio's greatest stage. No, it was the dazzling, glitzy world of casinos, where fortunes are won and lost on the roll of a die or the flip of a card. Here, in this realm of chance and fortune, Louis would conceive and execute his most audacious move. But it was in the glitzy world of casinos where Louis would make his most audacious move. In the mid-1990s, Louis Colavecchio turned his attention to the casinos. A man of many talents, he decided to put his skills of metallurgy and engineering to a rather dubious use, producing counterfeit slot machine tokens. To understand the genius of Colavecchio, one must first understand the complexity of a casino token. Each coin has a distinct weight, size, and unique blend of metals. This is what makes them so difficult to replicate. But for Colavecchio, this was just another puzzle to solve, another challenge to conquer. He began by studying genuine coins, analyzing their composition and weight down to the minutest detail. He then used his knowledge of metals and alloys to create the perfect blend, a blend so precise that even the most sophisticated slot machines couldn't tell the difference. Once the blend was perfected, he turned his attention to the manufacturing process. Using high-precision equipment, he replicated the exact dimensions of the coins, down to the hundredth of a millimeter. He paid equal attention to the design, ensuring that his counterfeit coins were visually indistinguishable from the real ones. His methods were meticulous, his attention to detail extraordinary. The result? A counterfeit coin so perfect it could fool even the most discerning slot machine. With his counterfeit coins, Colavecchio began his one-man raid on casinos. He played the slots, fed the machines with his counterfeit coins, and collected his winnings. His initial success was staggering. He swindled millions from the casinos all under their very noses. They didn't even have a clue. Colavecchio was living the high life, basking in the glory of his success. His counterfeit coins were perfect, his operation flawless. He was untouchable, or so he thought. But as they say, pride comes before a fall. In 1998, Colavecchio's luck ran out. Like all good things, Louis Colavecchio's winning streak had to come to an end. The casinos, those grand palaces of chance and fortune, started noticing something odd. There was a surplus of coins in circulation. This wasn't your typical surplus, mind you. These were the tokens of play, the casino's own currency, and they were appearing in quantities that just didn't add up. Investigations were launched. Security tightened. Surveillance grew keener, their eyes sharp as they watched the casino floor. And then they spotted it, a pattern, a trend. The surplus coins were showing up more frequently where Colavecchio played. The net began to close in. In December of 1998, the law swooped down on Colavecchio. His arrest was swift, but what they found in his possession was staggering. A counterfeiting operation sophisticated in its simplicity. Molds and dies for producing casino tokens, each one a perfect imitation of the real thing. It was a revelation that sent shockwaves through the casino industry. The legal proceedings that followed were a whirlwind. Colavecchio, the charismatic cheater, was now in the hot seat. Charges of fraud, counterfeiting, and theft were leveled against him. The courtroom was abuzz with speculation and whispers. How many casinos had he cheated? How much had he swindled? The numbers were astronomical. In the end, justice was served. Colavecchio was sentenced, his fate sealed by his own crafty machinations. The man who had once held the casinos in the palm of his hand was now at the mercy of the law. It was a downfall as dramatic as his rise had been. But for Louis Colavecchio, the story didn't end there. After serving his time, Colavecchio was back, but not for long. In 2006, Louis Colavecchio emerged from behind the cold, gray prison walls. The man, once known as the mastermind behind the most ingenious counterfeit operation in casino history, was free again. He had served his time, paid his dues to society, and was now ready to start anew. But the call of his old life, the allure of easy money, was too strong to resist. For 4 years, Colavecchio lived a quiet life, or so it seemed. Beneath the surface of his seemingly ordinary existence, he was plotting his next big move. The man who had once duped casinos with counterfeit coins had now set his sights on a bigger prize, the $100 bill. In 2010, just 4 years after his release, Colavecchio was caught red-handed. The authorities discovered a counterfeit operation that was even more complex than his previous endeavor. This time, he was producing counterfeit $100 bills that were so meticulously crafted they could fool even the most discerning eye. His audacity was staggering, his craftsmanship unparalleled. But just like before, his cunning could not save him from the long arm of the law. The final arrest of Louis Colavecchio was a spectacle. The man who had once swindled casinos was now facing the consequences of his actions. His brief period of freedom had come to an abrupt end. He was sentenced to serve his time once again behind the cold, gray prison walls. The story of Louis Colavecchio is a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the consequences of crime. His ingenious mind, his incredible craftsmanship, could have been used for the greater good. Instead, he chose a path of deceit and crime, a path that ultimately led him back to prison. Louis Colavecchio, the man who once swindled casinos, was now back behind bars. Louis Colavecchio, the man who dared to cheat Vegas. Our tale of this audacious figure concludes in the year 2020, when Louis Colavecchio, the notorious coin father, left the world. His departure, however, did not signal the end of his story. Instead, it served as a poignant reminder of his daring exploits that have forever changed the landscape of the casino industry. Colavecchio, in his own unique way, has left a legacy that continues to reverberate through the hallowed halls of Las Vegas casinos. His infamous exploits, while illegal, were a wake-up call for the gambling industry. His ability to perfectly replicate casino tokens forced casinos to reevaluate and significantly upgrade their security measures. Today, the industry's stringent security standards are a testament to the lasting impact of Colavecchio's deeds. His actions, while illicit, inadvertently served as a catalyst for change, enhancing the security and integrity of casinos worldwide. Beyond the casino floors, Colavecchio's life has been immortalized in the realm of media and pop culture. His story has been featured in numerous documentaries, articles, and books, serving as a fascinating study of a man who dared to challenge the system. His tale has been told and retold, captivating audiences with its blend of audacity, ingenuity, and intrigue. His life, as controversial as it was, continues to inspire and intrigue, forever etched in the annals of gambling history. In the end, Louis Colavecchio was more than just a notorious counterfeiter. He was a character larger than life, a man who dared to dream and dared to defy. His story is a stark reminder of the thin line between genius and criminality, between audacity and recklessness. While his actions can never be condoned, his ingenuity cannot be denied. Louis Colavecchio, a criminal, a genius, but most of all, a man who dared to take on the house and almost won.